turn to the 1810 at 99 mile an hour.
It sponsors Ace Radiator and GWC Racing. Terry's out of Springfield also.
Follow along with the racing program as we progress along this evening.
And we have a Hardin McKean sponsored racing car in lane 1. Mike McKean is the driver of this car out of Edinburgh, Illinois, and it's one of those 23 T-Bucket Chevrolets. Fourth T-Bucket, powered by a 427 Chevrolet, that is. Their sponsor is Midtown out of Springfield, Illinois.
Hey, in lane 2 is Richard Briscoe, and Richard would like everyone to know that this car is for sale. This is an easy way to get into the racing business, to build a car, to buy a car that's already successful in the racing program. Richard is currently number 4 in the point system, and also among the top 10 money winners so far this year. They're going to spin the tires, get them good and hot and clean before they approach the starting line. That's to help ensure they get the best bite possible or the best traction possible as they take off from the starting line.
Lane 1, we have Gary Morris from Decatur, Illinois. That's a 63 Chevy 2, powered by a 462 cubic inch 1971 Chevrolet engine. He has a sponsor, and it's High Performance Head Service.
And in lane 2, racing against the Chevrolet is a Plymouth driven by Mike Golish from Champaign. Green light start. in lane 2 this time is Bruce Prevost from Mattoon, Illinois. This car is owned by Prevost and John Hooper. It's a 1967 Camaro with a 454 cubic inch engine.
Meanwhile, Roy Godfrey's in lane 1, approaching the staging beams. He's from Decatur, Illinois. Bill and Roy Godfrey own this 1923 T pickup. It's powered by one of those 4. Last week of this year, Jack Hines has also won $1,400, and that's a 1973 Vega he's driving with a small block Chevrolet, and Jack and Donna own the car, and they're from Sullivan.
And again, we have a Chevy Plymouth matchup. In lane 2 is Butch Gerald from Buckley, Illinois. This car is owned by Ron Gerald. It's a 1971 Plymouth with a 440 cubic inch engine. Satisfaction too in lane 1. That fuel injection stack is sticking out the hood there on this 1969 Camaro. That's a 427 Chevrolet in it. Greg Cherry owns the car, and he also drives it. He's from Tower Hill, and the sponsor of this car is Cherry's Auto Repair. In lane 2, we have one of the famous 56 Chevrolets by Eddie Hawkins out of Kankakee, Illinois. Also powered by a big block. This one a 454, and it's a 1970 engine. Chevelle, powered by another 427 Chevrolet engine, sponsored by GWC Racing. And this funny car in lane 2 is driven by Jim Strobel from Terre Haute, Indiana. This is a 1974 Plymouth with a 402 Chevy engine.
You don't see too many of these cars right in lane 2 here that you see, just driven by Jim Strobel. This is an old type funny car. It's a 1974 Plymouth Cuda, and back in 1974, these type of bodies, you would see a blown Hemi in it, blown fuel-injected Hemi in it, and it'd be running AFC, or an FC, which is a funny car at top fuel. But as the years go by, the cars get passed down. Approaching the staging lanes in lane 1. Says the mousetrap on the side. I wonder if he's built a better mousetrap. This car is owned by Mike and Bev Moe out of Sherman, Illinois. It's a 23T Ford, like you've seen a lot of them here tonight at Motion Raceway. And it's also powered by a Ford, a 460 cubic inches of it. What's different about this car than most, it has a blower sitting on top of the engine with 2 carburetors on it. The sponsor is Capital Tool and Design of this car.
And he's racing as Jack Halfwigger in lane 2. Jack from Edinburgh, Illinois.
Kawasaki in lane 1, and that's 1,100 cc's of it.
And in lane 2 is Charlie Smith from Champaign, and when Charlie's out, he's one of those racers that's just almost impossible to beat. He's called Crazy Charlie, and he's the owner of Crazy Charlie's Speed Shop, which is a sponsor of quite a few of the race cars here this evening. This car's a 1969 Camaro with a 468 cubic inch engine. That they can dial and run that close to the time they've chosen is really amazing.
We have Alan McCool in lane 1 driving another one of those 68 Camaros. Alan and Gloria McCool out of Decatur own this 1968 Camaro powered by a big block 427 cubic inch Chevrolet.
And Alan is currently number 8 in the point system. He's tied with David Billingsley, who will be here shortly. In lane 2 is Ron Boyd. He's driving the dragster you see here. He's from Hillsboro, Illinois. And this dragster is owned by the Benson and Boyd Racing Team. It's a 1977 with a 355 1970 Chevy engine, and they're sponsored by Mollet Automotive. There's 1 second and 67 hundredths of the difference between these cars, so you'll notice quite a head start going to the car in lane 1. You see the dial-in time. Alan McCool was only 200th off his time, and in lane 2, the Benson and Boyd rail was only 400th off their time. That's very good drag racing.
One of the newer cars here at Motion Raceway, driven by David Billingsley in lane 1. That's a 1980 Chevrolet Malibu. He lives in Mount Zion, and I believe that has a small block Chevrolet engine under the hood, and it sponsors Billingsley Standard out of Decatur, Illinois. And
this beautiful red rail in lane 2 is driven by Ted Walschlager from Sherman, Illinois. This is a rear-engine dragster, 1976, with a 1964 292 Chevy engine, and they're sponsored by Ron Castleman. With 3 lights head start going to the Billingsley car in lane 1. Watch it as they count down. From Springfield, Illinois. There's something a little bit different about Greg Lewis. He's only 18 years old, and he's driving a car that goes about 120 miles per hour. This car is owned by Bill Lewis, and it's a 1970 Chevy with a 427 engine bored out to a 453, and he's sponsored by Midtown Speed Shop.
And we have another rail in lane 2, driven by Jeff Gambrell from Niantic, Illinois. This rear-engine rail is a 1979 make, and it's powered by a 426 Chrysler Wedge engine, and the sponsor's name is Coaster Buick. Something a little unusual, driven by Mike Osborne, a very top eliminator. Besides that, it's a Vega panel, but it's not your average Vega panel. This car is out of Decatur, Illinois, driven and owned by Mike Osborne. It's a Chevrolet Vega, of course. It's a 1971. The trick is, it's got 461 cubic inches of Chevrolet power under the hood of this car. It's sponsored by Z Automotive.
And only in drag racing could a Vega station wagon have a chance against a Corvette. This Corvette in lane 2 is driven by Bill Pearson. He's from Sullivan, Illinois. This is a 1963 Corvette with a 427 Chevy engine, and he's sponsored by F&A Auto Supply. Bill's currently number 10 in Motion Raceway point standings.
hardly be harmed, and everything, the moving parts are behind them. And we have Rudy Melzer in lane 1. Small car, 1971 Dodge Challenger. Rudy's out of Champaign, Illinois. This is a 26 Hemi car. Sponsored by Motion Raceway and AOK Transmission. Rudy right now is second in top 11 points with 115 points.
Hey, in lane 2 is Thomas from Pawnee, Illinois. He's 1975 Vegas. This is another Vegas. So the 277 Chevy engine, and he's sponsored by Newtown Seat Shop.
The Mystic Mopar, driven by Rudy Melzer in lane 1, is the only Hemi car, twice for a Hemi car here at Motion Raceway. It's a lot of horsepower. He's in 80 points. He's driving a 67 powered by a big block 396 Chevrolet. He's got a sponsor. It's called Cactus Corner.
Hey, in lane 2 is number 7 in our front stone. Greg Campbell from Springfield and small block. As you can see, Greg has a super quick move. Greg Campbell down there on the line to help him out and make things go really right.
Greg also wants to build a new car, so the best way to build a new car